Asashoryu, Hakuho, Haruma Fuji, these giants ruled sumo in recent years. And while Japanese champions have been rarer lately, don't get it twisted. Japan has forged legends so fierce even foreign titans couldn't topple them. Welcome to SumoSpirit, and today we're counting down the top 10 greatest Japanese sumo wrestlers of all time. On the top 10, we have Kisenosato, the yokozuna number 72. A national hero? A symbol of rebirth? Kisenosato Yutaka is remembered as an iconic figure in sumo. His promotion to yokozuna in 2017 marked a historic moment, breaking nearly 2 decades without a Japanese yokozuna. The last? Wakanohana in 2000. What makes a champion stand out? Kisenosato won 2 championships in the Makuuchi division in January and March 2017. Despite his accomplishments, Kisenosato struggled with multiple injuries, especially after March 2017, including issues with his chest, ankle, and knee. These setbacks caused him to miss 8 consecutive tournaments, leading to his retirement in 2019 at just 32 years old. But why do we say no foreigner could stop him? Because he did what seemed impossible. He ended Hakuho's legendary 63-match winning streak. Yes, this happened at the 2010 Kyushu Basho. As Hakuho charged in, Kisenosato struck with a perfectly timed left-hand thrust to the yokozuna's chest, driving him straight back and out with a yorikiri, shattering the streak and shocking the sumo world. At that time, Kisenosato was Megashira number 1. And we can't forget how he conquered the Mongol giants at the Haru Basho in 2017. The final 3 days were a gauntlet: Haruma Fuji, Kakuryu, and Teruno Fuji. He fell to Haruma Fuji, suffering a brutal injury that would have broken most men. But Kisenosato refused to break. Wounded, he came back to defeat Kakuryu and then faced the towering Teruno Fuji in a do-or-die showdown. With sheer willpower and flawless timing, Kisenosato unleashed a devastating Tsuki Otoshi, toppling the Mongolian powerhouse. And he didn't just do it once. In the playoff rematch, he threw Teruno Fuji down again and rose, battered but unbroken, to claim the Emperor's Cup, dominating Mongolians. At number 9, we have the current yokozuna, Onosato, and honestly, his numbers speak louder than any hype ever could. 4 championships before turning 26? How is that even humanly possible? Onosato stormed the dohyo, claiming Makuuchi titles in May 2024, September 2024, March 2025, and again in May 2025. Onosato embodies the future of Japanese sumo. With a career untouched by major injuries and a textbook, almost old-school technique, he's become a symbol of hope for fans longing for another Japanese hero. Just like Kisenosato once did, he ended a 6-year drought without a Japanese yokozuna, and in doing so, he's shaken the dominance of the Mongolian powerhouse Hoshoryu, a man many thought unstoppable. Onosato is a year younger, yet already has 2 Yusho more to his name, even if the head-to-head record doesn't always favor him. One thing is clear: Japan's next great hope isn't just coming, he's already here. Something else surprising about him? He's the fastest wrestler to reach Ozeki. One of his defining moments came with his very first Yusho, clinched with a hard-fought 12-3 record. The final bout? A clash against Abi. With unshakable focus, Onosato drove forward, locked in, and with a relentless yorikiri, forced Abi out of the ring, sealing his maiden championship and announcing his arrival as sumo's next great force. At the top 8, we have Wakanohana Kanji 1. Wakanohana won 10 top division championships in his career, and at around 220 pounds in fighting weight, he was one of the lightest yokozuna in sumo history. But behind the victories was a story of resilience. In 1956, tragedy struck. His 4-year-old son died in a household accident. Many would have broken, but Wakanohana never gave up. In January 1958, after winning his 2nd championship at the Hatsu Basho, he was promoted to yokozuna. He became locked in a legendary rivalry with Tochinishiki, nearly identical in size and strength, and each ending their careers with 10 championships. Their battles were unforgettable, and in March 1960, they made history, facing each other undefeated on the final day. For the first time ever, Two yokozuna clashed in that scenario. Wakanohana won with a decisive yorikiri. He kept competing until Taiho and Kashiwado appeared, two goats invincible. He finally retired in May 1962, closing the chapter on one of sumo's most storied careers. Top 7. Kitano Fuji Katsuaki. The 60s were brutal in sumo. Taiho, one of the greatest of all time, dominated everything. But in 1967, a young Kitano Fuji finally broke through. At the Harubasho, he took down yokozuna Kashiwado with a clean, powerful yorikiri, forcing him out for his very first championship. By late 1969, Kitano Fuji started to truly emerge from Taiho's shadow, winning back-to-back championships in November 69 and January 70. That sealed his promotion to yokozuna, the highest rank in sumo. Across his career, Kitano Fuji would win 10 top division championships. He had a deep friendship with another yokozuna, Tamanumi. When Tamanumi died suddenly in 1970 from illness, it devastated Kitano Fuji. His performance faltered. That summer, he took a leave of absence from the July tournament. And where did he go? Hawaii, where he was caught surfing. The Japan Sumo Association wasn't amused. Kitano Fuji apologized immediately, but the damage to his image was done. He kept fighting, but the absences piled up, and by July 1974, just 3 days into the tournament, Kitano Fuji called it. At only 32, he retired. Why? Because a new era had arrived, led by the younger stars Wajima and Kitanumi. Number 6. Wajima Hiroshi. Brains and brawn? Can elegance wear gold in the dohyo? Wajima Hiroshi was a shining sumo star of the 70s. As the 54th yokozuna, he stood out not only for his strength and technique, but also for being the only wrestler with a university education to ever reach the sport's highest rank. Titles? 14 top division championships? What kind of dominance is that? His fighting style was defined by his powerful left-arm throws, famously known as the golden left, named for his golden mawashi and his precise ability to unbalance opponents with surgical skill. He starred in a historic moment in the Akibasho of 1972. Day 15, two sekiwake collide. Wajima, in the brown mawashi on the right, versus Takanohana. The match turns into an absolute war. For over 2 minutes, they battle, neither giving an inch. Finally, the referees do something you almost never see. They stop the match, letting both Rikishi rest before continuing. When the fight resumes, it's back to the exact same position, and Wajima pushes forward, winning with a yorikiri. After this match, both Wajima and Takanohana were promoted to Zeki in the very next tournament. Top 5 is a legend, Futabayama Sadaji. A legend with one eye? A record no one could touch. Futabayama Sadaji, the 35th yokozuna, is a legendary figure in sumo, especially remembered for his dominance in the 30s. His career was defined by an astonishing streak of 69 consecutive victories. Only 2 tournaments a year, so how do you win 12 titles? Futabayama won 12 championships in the top division, an incredible feat for his era, when only 2 basho were held annually. His fighting style relied on powerful technique, particularly uwatenage throws from the migi-yotsu grip. Despite physical challenges, being blind in one eye, and missing part of a finger, his strength and precision set him apart. One of Futabayama's most legendary titles came at the Harubasho of 1937, and it was historic. It was his sekiwake debut, and Futabayama didn't just win, he dominated. He went a perfect 11-0, clinching his very first yusho. On the final day, he faced Minanogawa, one of the top wrestlers of the era, and threw him with a powerful uwatenage. That flawless championship didn't just make headlines, it catapulted Futabayama straight to Zeki later that same year. Approaching the top 3, in the top 4 we have Takanohana Koji. A sumo prince? A golden age reborn? Takanohana Koji, known as the Prince of Sumo, was an iconic figure of the 90s, a golden era for Japanese sumo. He was known for his flawless technique and powerful media presence. 22 championships. How do you dominate for nearly a decade? Takanohana won 22 yusho in the top division between 1992 and 2001, placing him 6th in sumo history. His style blended stability and aggression, focusing on securing a grip on his opponent's mawashi and driving them quickly out of the ring. A teenage champion? Can greatness come before 20? In January 1992, he became the youngest top division tournament champion in history at just 19 years and 5 months. He defeated Misujisato with a yorikiri, pushing him out of the dohyo and into the record books. But his story wasn't just about victories, it was about revival. Alongside his brother Wakanohana, he helped reignite interest in sumo, especially among younger audiences, during what became known as the Takawaka era. Why do we say he dominated foreign wrestlers? Because he had a fierce rivalry with Akebono, one of the most powerful yokozuna ever. Again and again, their clashes decided tournaments. In the Kyushu Basho of 2024, he even snatched the championship on the final day, toppling Akebono with a textbook uwatenage. By the end of their careers, their head-to-head record was perfectly balanced, 25 wins each, proof of an epic rivalry. Top 3. Kitanumi. A prodigy or a villain? Can dominance come without warmth? Kitanumi rose to greatness in the 70s. At just 21 years old 2 months, he became the youngest wrestler ever to reach the highest rank of yokozuna, a record that remains unbroken and surpassing Taiho by a month. He was a titan of the dohyo, but his cold demeanor earned him the reputation of being the ring's villain. Hei was the least loved yokozuna of his time. How unpopular was he? The 3 most watched sumo broadcasts in Japanese TV history all have one thing in common: Kitanumi losing on the final day. In March 1975, he fell to the beloved Takanohana. In November 1970, he's beaten by Wakanohana. In January 1980, Chion Fuji topples him. But here's the thing. Despite being the villain of his era, Kitanumi was unstoppable. He racked up 24 top division championships, cementing himself as one of the most successful rikishi in sumo history. His peak? 1970. That year, Kitanumi won 5 out of 6 tournaments, an unbelievable run of 82 wins in 90 matches. That record stood untouched all the way until 2005, a reminder that, love him or hate him, Kitanumi was a force unlike any other. Number 2 is Chion Fuji. How can technique overcome size? Known as the Wolf, Chion Fuji Mitsugu left an unforgettable mark on sumo during the 80s. He proved that skill and strength could topple much larger opponents, boasting a staggering 53 consecutive wins in 1908. What does endurance at the top really mean? Chion Fuji won 31 championships in the top division, ranking 3rd in history, only behind Hakuho and Taiho, and his longevity was remarkable, holding the yokozuna rank for 10 years. A milestone? Over 1,000 career wins across 21 years, once a Guinness World Record. He also had a fierce rivalry with the Hawaiian powerhouse Konishiki. Their clashes were must-see sumo, and none more so than at the Kyushu Basho of 1989. Konishiki was in Zeki, Chion Fuji the yokozuna, and in a dramatic showdown, Chion Fuji defeated him in epic fashion, proving once again why he sat at the very top of the sumo world. The best? Taiho Koki. Taiho Koki is hailed by many as the greatest sumo wrestler of all time, but for many others, Hakuho. Taiho ruled the 60s with power, grace, and an almost mythical presence. He won 32 top division championships between 1960 and 1970, a record that stood unbroken until Hakuho surpassed it in 2014. 8 of Taiho's championships were achieved with a perfect record of 15 wins and no losses. He became yokozuna at just 21 years old, the youngest ever at that time. His dominance included winning 6 tournaments in a row, twice, and an incredible streak of 45 consecutive wins between 1960 and 1969. Known for his agile style, he combined strength and technique despite his relatively lighter weight. His best competence? Kashiwado. One of the most amazing moments between them was the Aki Basho in 1961. Taiho and Kashiwado ended the tournament tied with 12 wins each. In the playoff, Taiho triumphed with a stunning uchari, clinching his third top division yusho. This victory led to his promotion to yokozuna and cemented an impressive legacy. These 10 wrestlers are not just names in history, they are legends who have elevated sumo to a spectacle of strength, honor, and humanity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the SumoSpirit channel for more content.